Guys, what's going on? Listen, if you have been thinking about coming to Maverick Transportation and you want to know what orientation is like, stay tuned because I'm going to go through my entire first week with you coming up. Guys, what's going on? Listen, I just walked away from a $100,000 a year job where I was working from home full-time in the healthcare industry to jump on a Greyhound bus and head off for Maverick Transportation. I'm going to take you with me. Come on, let's go. Around 11 o'clock, we got in, we're safe, chilling at the hotel, just got a shower. Orientation starts tomorrow. Interested in coming to Maverick, you're not sure what orientation is like. I've been here for a week now, and let's go through some of the information, some of the things that I've been through here in this week. So let's just go through some general information, and then we'll go day by day. Sunday, which is day one of orientation, through the end of today. Today is Friday, so it's not been quite a week yet, but I've finished phase one, if you will, of Maverick's orientation. Which is onboarding, and I'm on my just finished my second day of flatbed securement training. We'll talk a little bit about that. So I got some notes. I'm going to read off of them. Just took some notes this entire week for you all who are wondering what orientation is like. And let's go over some general information. So when we first get here, we leave the hotel around 5:30 in the morning. Now I'm at the Days Inn down the road from Maverick, about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a mile. Maverick has a hotel of their own on their own grounds, and then they rent rooms for us at the Days Inn, and I'm not sure if there's any rhyme or reason as to who ends up where and why, but all I know is I've ended up at the Days Inn, and I'm okay with that. But their hotel is, I've heard from my classmates, awesome. It's got laundry facilities that are free. It's got a grill out back so you can cook, you can store your food, and it's got a microwave and that kind of stuff in the hotel room. So I don't think that it's really that big of a deal whether you're at the hotel at Days Inn or at the hotel in the training facility. Either way, they provide transportation for you to get back and forth, and we're going to talk about that too. So we get there, we get on Maverick's campus around 6 in the morning, and Maverick is going to serve you breakfast and lunch every single day through orientation, on top of paying you the $600 a week, and you get a $50 debit card on your second day in orientation to get you started, okay? So we get there in the morning and we eat breakfast, and then we go down to class, and we're in class around 6 or 6:30 is when we get started, okay? And they just open it up with welcome to Maverick. Here's what we're about, and here's what we believe in, okay? Doing things the right way, having integrity, doing things right because it is the right thing to do. That's just the way that they believe. and that's how they expect you to act when you're here. And they just expect it out of you, okay? They talk about their culture, the facilities, and the training staff. I got to tell you that the staff that I've been around so far on onboarding and in flatbed securement have been awesome. I mean, I could not have asked for a better team to be around. So, you know, I heard rumors that 1 in every 10 have to leave Maverick and they weed you out and all of that. From day one, they are telling you, we are here to help you succeed, but you have to put in the work, and they mean that. That means that you have to act professional. You can't come to orientation with a Bud Light shirt on and get here 15 minutes late. You're not going to get a job offer if you do that kind of stuff. You can't slouch in your chair. You're not allowed to have cell phones in the classroom. They're a distraction. They want you paying attention. They want you paying attention to detail, and they want you to be a professional when you're here. If you can do that and you get through their physical and the DOT physical, you shouldn't have much of an issue of getting a job offer at Maverick, okay? Now let's talk about the job offer. You arrive here on Sunday and you start orientation on Sunday and you don't get a job offer until Thursday, and here's why. First of all, I think they probably want to watch you for a few days and make sure that you aren't going to come in and you're, you know, hungover every day and late to orientation and you look like a slob, right? Because they represent themselves as professionals, and if you join this team, that's what they want you to represent, that you're a part of Maverick, right? So if you don't like that, I can tell you right now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but this place isn't for you, you're not going to last, and I just want to tell you that up front, okay? You also have to pass their physical and the DOT physical, and you have to do a hair follicle and urine drug test. They're not going to give you a job offer until they get all of that information back, which typically the drug tests show up last and they come in around Wednesday night or Thursday, is what we've been told. So we went through orientation. We're going to go day by day what the classes were like quickly. I'll go over that. But we started on Sunday. I didn't get a job offer until Thursday morning around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? So just so you know, that is how it goes. Like I said, you get breakfast and lunch every day, all right? And then access to a vehicle, so you can go to Walmart, you can go to a diner if you want. You get to take the van for 1 hour at a time. You just sign it out. It's a van. If you have the van, you may have to escort some people back and forth that need a ride. All right. You are, if you're at the Days Inn, you're right outside of a Pilot and a Petro truck stop. There's a Subway in the Pilot, and there is of course, Iron Skillet in the Petro. Okay. The Petro also has a little deli section where they've got like turkey legs, chicken breasts, that kind of stuff. Not cheap stuff, but it's there. Your hotel room here at the Days Inn has a microwave and a refrigerator as well. So you can go to Walmart. There's a Walmart a mile up the street. My classmates go there almost every night, and you can get groceries, bring them back, and store them in your hotel room. Laundry. There's laundry at the Days Inn, and it costs you $1.50 for a washer, $1.50 for a dryer. Laundry at the training facility is free, and even if you're staying at the Days Inn, you can go over to the training facility by use of the van or the Days Inn shuttle, and you can do your laundry for free over there. Or if you get super desperate and you didn't make it to the training facility and someone's using the laundry here at the Days Inn, you can go to the Petro, and it's $3 for a washer, $3 for a dryer. Okay. Payroll is every Friday. I wanted to talk to you about that. Some things that you want to bring is you got to bring a voided check if you want a direct deposit. If you don't bring a voided check, they'll put your check on a COM card, but it's a $2 charge every time that they direct deposit that onto a COM card, okay? And also, I saw an issue with someone, and I think they worked it out, where he came here with an intra-state, I-N-T-R-A, intrastate CDL versus an interstate, and it's because he didn't get his DOT physical and get things switched over at the BMV for a interstate, so he couldn't cross state lines. It caused him a little bit of an issue at first, but Maverick worked it out. I think they ended up taking him to get a physical or helped him with the BMV something because he's still here. And Maverick's like that. If you put forth the effort and they see that you want to be here and you act like a professional, they'll go out of their way to make sure that you stay here. That includes extra training. They will keep you here and do extra training if they have to, if they think that you want to be here. So that weeds out all of the rumors that I heard about how they weed people out and, you know, hardly anybody makes it and, you know, 1 out of every 10 gets kicked out. They're not looking to kick anyone out. It's 100% up to you. All right. let's talk a little bit about sleep apnea, because that is one of the things that you're going to be screened for during their physical, which I'm going to get into their physical here in a few minutes. So with sleep apnea, they don't send you home like some other companies do if you test positive for sleep apnea here. What they'll do is they'll hook you up with a CPAP machine or a BiPAP machine, whichever you need. You do have to pay for it, but not all up front. They're going to take a little bit of money. It's like $10 or maybe just a little bit more out of your check every week until you pay that off. Now, yes, it's like $250, so it is going to take you a while to pay it off, but they don't hit you with that cost up front. Here's their criteria for sleep apnea when you get through their physical, okay? If you have a BMI, body mass index, of 35 or more, and if your neck circumference all the way around your neck is 18 inches or more, the physician who does the DOT physical will take a closer look at you, and there is a chance that you will have to get tested for sleep apnea. Now, if you don't know your BMI, your body mass index, Google it. What is my BMI? And a calculator will pop up. It will ask for your height and your weight, and it will pop out your BMI. It's pretty easy. Just get online and find it, okay, if you're worried about this. If you test positive for apnea, and what they do is that if they have a suspicion, they'll do a sleep study at the hotel. So you'll go to the hotel with a monitor, and you'll sleep that night. You'll bring it back the next day, and they'll read it. If you test positive, they will take you into a second test, all right? And I think that's at maybe an overnight stay at a lab. And then if the second test confirms, from what I understand, because I didn't get tested, if the second test confirms, then what you will do is you will get a sleep apnea BiPAP or CPAP machine, and they'll start to deduct that out of your check. You don't get kicked out, all right? So I heard rumors that, oh, if you have sleep apnea, you get kicked out. Now, there was one guy who was with us, is an awesome guy. He got diagnosed with sleep apnea prior to coming to Maverick, like 6 months prior, and he did not wear a CPAP machine, and they could not let him stay because he did not wear that CPAP machine, and he had already been diagnosed. But what they told him was, go home, wear it for 90 days, give us your readings, and you can come back as long as everything is okay. As long as that CPAP machine is still working to keep you breathing, okay? And just to expel any more rumors, I know that I keep talking about this, but this is one that was really stuck in my head. I was really worried when I got here because I heard so much garbage over the internet. I started with 15 people, and there are 13 of us now. And the two that left is one who had the sleep apnea that I just told you about, and the other one left on his own accord because he had some family stuff going on at home. The rest of us made it. We made it through orientation, onboarding, and we're in flatbed securement. All right. So also, I would advise to bring at least 5 to 7 days worth of clothing because it's a pain in the ass to do laundry unless you're on Maverick's hotel, and then you don't have to worry about it too much. All right, let's go through day to day very quickly. I just want to kind of give you an idea of what the days are like. So Sunday we started with, like I said, they told us, hey, this is what Maverick's about. This is what we expect out of you. This is what we want. And as long as we see it, we'll go out of our way to help you. And I've seen that happen a lot. They do a lot of policy reviews. There's a lot of classes, okay? You can't, and they go over their expectations. So you can't drink in the hotel room. They expect you to have, not like Bud Light shirts and be slouching in your chair and that kind of stuff. No cell phones in the classrooms because they're a distraction. They do payroll, so they take your direct deposit. All right. They talk a little bit about sleep apnea, and I already went over the criteria for that, so you know that. They do get into map reading. It is an excellent hour course of map reading. I've been to 2 over-the-road companies in my early 20s, and I didn't get as much map reading training in either of those companies from my orientation all the way to the end of my trainer that I did in this hour with Maverick. So we do map reading all week, but they started off with an hour class of map reading. With an atlas, they just break it down for you. So it is an excellent class. Then we had this, still on Sunday, had this call. It's called Town Hall, where all of the drivers and the drivers' families can call in to like an 800 number, and Maverick hosts it, and it's just questions and answers, Q&As. Okay. So we sat through that, and that was pretty cool. All right. We ended class around 5:30, and that's what you're going to see every morning. You start around 6, and you get out around 5:30 or 6. It's long days. You get an hour lunch, like I said, and they feed you breakfast and lunch. So Monday was the big day. It was the physical, okay? So immediately we started the physical. We went through a DOT physical, hair and urine drug testing, and then we did Maverick's physical. I don't have time on this video to show you what Maverick's physical was like, but I know that a lot of people are curious about it, so my plan is to upload another video within the next several weeks just of the movements and going of what you have to do in Maverick's physical and going over Maverick's physical as much as I can. I will post a video, and I am going to go through the physical movements and the step-by-step what I went through. What I will say is that you can pass this physical. Maverick's physical is intense. It's in depth. What I mean by intense is that they look at a lot of stuff, but it's not difficult. The heaviest weight that you really have to pick up, I would say, was probably not over 50 pounds. Okay. And the hardest thing that we had to do, and it really wasn't that difficult, was we had to pick up 50 pounds, and what we had to do is we had to lift it up, set it on a shelf, take it back down, and drop it down. Okay, we had to do that safely. And then we had to get on a stair stepper, and we had to step stairs for 3 minutes to a tone, so it was beep, 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 and it was at that pace for 3 minutes, and then we sat down and they took our pulse oximetry, which reads our oxygen levels in our blood. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. 15 of us, no one failed, except for the guy who hadn't had his CPAP machine put on after he got diagnosed like 6 months ago, and he didn't technically fail the physical. They just couldn't let him on because he didn't treat himself for apnea. Tuesday, we get into more courses and classes. We do a lot of like safety classes and things like that. Then they do the performance review, and they talk to you a little bit about how you can make extra money on top of what they start you out. For example, they're starting me out at 52 cents a mile. I'm considered an inexperienced driver because I haven't driven a truck in 12 years, and I can earn up to an additional 6 cents for my performance, and things that go into that are like idle time, staying within route, on-time delivery, having no safety points. They'll issue safety points if you have any type of accident or do any kind of damage to the truck or trailer. Okay, so it's pretty interesting to go over that. Then they talk about the regions. So they talk about Maverick USA, which is potentially all 48 states in Canada. And then they talk about Maverick Midwest Regional, and then they talk about Maverick Southwest Regional, and glass, and they go over all the different divisions. So, you know, there are people in the class who, in the orientation class, some do glass, some are regional, some are OTR USA, and they just divide up divisions for you and tell you, you know, if you're Midwest Regional, you can expect to run in these areas, and so on and so on. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I don't want to get into too much depth because I'm trying to keep this video somewhat short, but we can go over that, okay? On Wednesday, then, we did time management class. Benefits came in and talked to us. There was a safety presentation from the manager of safety. We did more map planning. You're going to do map planning almost every day. And then we left. And then Thursday we came in, and we got our job offers in the morning, and early afternoon we went down and started flatbed securement training. I'm going to make a separate video about flatbed securement training because it's technically phase 2. That I've dubbed it phase 2. That's not an orientation or a Maverick term, but I got through the onboarding part of orientation. That's what this video was about. So we'll get into another video about the flatbed securement training. But in a nutshell, in 15 or 16 minutes, without making this video too long, that is what Maverick orientation was for the first 4 or 5 days. If you got any questions, please leave me a comment. My cell phone number is in my description. Feel free to text me if you want to. I will answer all comments. You might just have to give me a day or two. It is very busy days here. I meant to make more videos than this already, and I just haven't had time. But I will get back to you. If any questions, anything I didn't cover, I'd love to hear from you. If you got something out of this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to follow my journey, and please feel free to comment. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.